What's up guys, I'm going to do another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video, and today's video we're going to be going over what has changed with the patch update 1.11, 1.11. So this is the latest update that came out for Black Ops 4 for multiplayer, Blackout, and zombies, and we're going to be going over everything that has changed with this update today. So this update is live on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One currently, and every single platform is getting a game settings update today. So the difference between the patches and the game settings update is the game settings update is just something that you get when you boot up into the game. When you're fetching your profile, it'll do like downloading an update or whatever. It'll say that, and then boom, you're gonna get the latest update. But whereas the patch update is one you actually have to download from Battle.net, from Xbox Live, or from PSN. So it's usually multiple gigabytes, but the game settings update is usually maybe 5 megabytes or whatever. So this patch is really great. It brings new features for zombie players. A lot of these are first on PlayStation 4, and one of those is the Gauntlets mode that is exclusive to PlayStation 4 for now, but then next week it will be coming to Xbox and PC. And then it also brings some new elixirs for zombies and stuff, and a new UI looting update thing for Blackout on consoles as well. So Treyarch says that for this update, they say, our 1.11 update begins rolling out today, kicking off at 10 a.m. Pacific time on consoles and coming to PC later this week. All three modes get even bigger in this update with the debut of Gauntlets and the new elixirs and zombies on PS4, a new week of featured playlists, and the addition of Elevation and Madagascar to map rotations for Black Ops Pass owners and multiplayer, and our new and improved console looting interface in Blackout, and much more. We're also celebrating 115 Day with our zombies community with double XP, double weapon XP, and double Napoleon Plasma. So these are only for zombies. That's zombies double XP and zombies weapon XP and zombies Napoleon Plasma. Today through 10 a.m. Pacific time on January 18th on all platforms. Zombies gets plenty of love this week with our new Unsinkable Gauntlet and new elixirs. And the new elixirs are Perk Up, Refreshment, and Conflagration Liquidation. Elixir balance updates, adjustments to PhD slider, and those pesky Crimson Nosferatu, tons of improvements to gameplay and stability, and more. Be on the lookout for our 115 Day Treyarch blog today as well, including details on this week's updates, as we look forward to what to expect in the near future with our 1.12 update, and a preview of the new features and content coming to Black Ops 4 Zombies over the next coming months. We have big plans for 2019 for Zombies, and we're excited to share more when Zombies director Jason Blundell stops by later today on Twitter. They also say today's new looting interface update on consoles and Blackout is also a big step in our Battle Royale experience. This multi-row grid approach makes it easier for players to loot their enemies and get back into the fight. We're eager to hear how our feedback on the new system, and we've also reduced the number of concussion grenades in an inventory stack to 1 to help reduce the frequency of concussions in the field. So drop into a match, loot away, and let us know what you think in the comments. These are the highlights for what's new in Black Ops 4 this week. In multiplayer, there's Chaos Control is added as a multiplayer featured playlist. TDM 100, Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit are added into the multiplayer featured category. Elevation and Madagascar are added to the normal map rotation for Black Ops Pass holders. There's updates to various game modes, specialists, perks, score streaks, gear, and challenges. There's a fix for the Killathon reactive camo requirements, and there's various gameplay and stability improvements. Zombies has 115 Day celebration event. That's Zombies double XP, double weapon XP, and double Napoleon Plasma, live from 10 a.m. Pacific time on January 15th to 10 a.m. Pacific time on January 18th. The Unsinkable Gauntlet is live in Voyage of Despair, first on PS4. There's 3 new elixirs, first on PS4. There's a balance updates for 6 existing elixirs, adjustments to PhD slider. They reduce the Crimson Nosferatu damage and spawn rates in Dead of the Night. There's various gameplay and stability improvements. In Blackout, they have a stash interface updated to a grid layout for faster looting on consoles, and reduce the concussion grenade to stack count to 1. So this is what is live right now with this actual game settings update on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So the featured playlist Chaos Control is added to as a featured playlist, and that's teams have unlimited lives. Capture time has increased to 2 minutes per zone, and the round time limit is increased to 3.5 minutes. TDM 100, Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit are added to the featured category. In Zombies, there's 115 Celebration Day. That's Zombies double XP, double weapon XP, and double Napoleon Plasma is live from 10 a.m. Pacific time from today, January 15th to January 18th. PS4, specifically for zombies, gets the Gauntlets, which the first one is called Unsinkable. It is live in Voyager of Despair, and that is 30 rounds of challenges with unique rules for each round. Players earn medals and tiered rewards for completing rounds 10, 20, and 30, as well as an additional reward for completing round 30 without failing a round. Players are issued a strike by failing a round, with the game ending after 3 strikes. All matches are timed for competitive speedrun support. They have 3 new elixirs. The first one is called Perk Up. It's an epic elixir, and you can gain additional 4 random perks that are not in your loadout. So this is basically Perkaholic. You get Refreshment, which is also an epic one. Refreshes the cooldowns for equipment, perks, and special weapons for your entire team. Conflagration Liquidation is an epic elixir as well. And this one you can spawn a bonfire sale. So this is a fire sale for the Pack Punch machine. So it's actually so much cheaper now. And this is what's laid like all the specific patch notes for consoles today, but it'll be coming to PC later this week. So when it comes to PC, we're going to go over all the specific changes for PC, so that'll be sometime later this week. For multiplayer, Elevation and Madagascar added to the normal map rotation, and that's core and hardcore for all Black Ops Pass holders. They did some changes to some of the game modes. So Heist, they added the SWAT RFT Assault Rifle, the Damon 3XB SMG, the Combat Axe, and EMP Disruptor to Heist. They resolved an issue where the player could not be granted proper tier progression in some cases. If the last living player disconnects, all down friendly teammates will now bleed out, ending the round. Hardpoint, they added an overtime win condition for Hardpoint. In the event of a tie at the end of the time limit, the team to score the next point will win the match. And this setting has been enabled for CWL Hardpoint and custom games. For SND, they resolved an issue that allowed the defenders to defuse and win the game after the bomb had been detonated. And Free For All, the assault pack can now be interacted with after it was hacked in Free For All. Specialist, they did some changes to Zero. Hacking an enemy no longer prevents specialist weapon or equipment usage. Hacked assault pack will now no longer be destroyed if the original owner leaves the match. Hacked barricade will no longer be destroyed if the original owner leaves the match. For Ruin, they resolved an issue that allowed Ruin's grab slam to kill players through walls and floors, thank goodness. Firebreak, they resolved an issue that prevented Firebreak's Purifier from damaging friendly players in game modes with friendly fire enabled. And for Crash, Attack 5 will no longer remove the hack status from players. For perks, they improved Cold-Blooded's enemy score streaks targeting delay from 5 to 7 seconds. They improved Team Link's circular vision radius by 9%. They updated the TAC mask description to include increased resistance against EMP Disruptor. Tracker's detection icon will now correctly function if the player switches to a class without the tracker perk. Score streaks, the care package should now properly kill a player when landing on top of them. They added a notification for when a player calls in a thresher. They resolved an issue where a care package or Mantis smoke markers FX would show for all players. They resolved an issue where the sound of the care package hitting the ground was delayed. They resolved an issue where the dart would not be usable again if it failed to be deployed the first time. They resolved an issue where the player's view angles could change while controlling a vehicle. Resolved an issue with the hacked vehicle effect remaining on a player's screen if dying to a hacked vehicle. For gear, they resolved an issue where the acoustic sensor would stop functioning when switching classes during the grace period at the start of a round. They did a couple challenge changes, so Clean Sweep now correctly tracks in hardcore game modes, and Conquest now correctly tracks in hardcore game modes. For weapon customization, the Killathon reactive camo, it now properly unwraps if it was unwrapped before the requirements changed in a recent update. They updated the unwrap requirement text to correctly reference the new requirements of getting 50 kills instead of 5 kills without dying. They added support for camo and reticle customization in offline custom games. Specifically, they resolved an issue where Codcaster spectating would disable a player's perks in the second equipment charge. Resolved an issue where the second equipment charge bar would not show in custom games. Bots playing as Zero will now use the ice pick in custom games with bots. They did some stability updates, so they fixed crashes that could occur when a player owning a mesh mine disconnected from the match, when deploying a strike team marker, or when hacking a barricade that expired or was destroyed. In the black market, the friendly fire reticle owners now have access to the green and blue versions of the reticle to the match version displayed in the black market. And they did a couple miscellaneous changes to multiplayer as well. They added a notification in the death cam for friendly players when attack deploy is available. Resolved an issue where player names would no longer show up in multiplayer game modes after playing Heist or Blackout. Resolved an issue that caused on-fire effects to remain on a player's screen for the duration of the wound. Resolved an issue that prevented some alternate voiceover lines from playing to the player. Zombies has some new changes. These ones are actually kind of exciting and cool. So, They have some elixir updates, so they join the party. It now revives down players in addition to respawning dead party members, but will not restore lost perks. Swordplay melee attacks now instantly kill basic and vermin enemies for the duration and deal 5 times the damage to all other enemies. The Control Z one, they increase the duration of turn zombies from 15 seconds to 30 seconds. Cashback, they reduce the rarity from epic to legendary to increase the chance of concocting cashback more frequently. Phantom Reload, they doubled the previous percentage chance to get free ammo. Blood Debt, the duration was reduced from 3 minutes to 1 minute, and Blood Debt now simply ends when points are reduced to 0 rather than killing the player. PhD Slider got a change, so now onto the perks. PhD Slider now fully prevents self-inflicted explosive damage. PhD Slider damage reduction for enemy explosive attacks has changed from 80% to 50%. So PhD Slider just got a buff, and it's basically almost like PhD Flopper, you know, how it was in previous games. So this is really exciting because now it fully prevents self-inflicted explosive damage. So this was kind of dumb that they didn't have this before, because that's the whole point of the perk, is that you don't take any explosive damage. So you can use, you know, explosive weapons, and you won't take any like splash damage or any of that stuff. And so now it's just like the original PhD Flopper from Black Ops 1 and stuff. Really cool, and happy about that. In Dead of the Night, they reduced the damage dealt by the Crimson Nosferatu bite attack. They reduced the maximum number of the Nosferatu and Crimson Nosferatu that spawn during the normal round progression. And power-ups are now more evenly distributed to appear throughout each round, as opposed to near the start of the round. And then they did a whole bunch of stability updates on every map, and they did some specific for Blood of the Dead and Voyage of Despair. I just gotta point this one out though. There's one specific patch on Blood of the Dead that's like, what? So they say they fixed a rare crash that could occur when using the Hellfire in Eagle Plaza outside of the Warden's house on round 73. Like, what? How? That is like the most specific patch stability update thing you can get, where they specifically, you know, fix a crash that could occur. It was a rare crash, so it didn't happen every time, but when you're using the Hellfire Specialist weapon in Eagle Plaza, so a specific location outside of the Warden's house, okay, on a specific round, on round 73. Didn't happen on 74 or 72, but specifically on 73, so that's just crazy. For challenges, the Charmed Challenge now properly requires players to use 50 talismans, and they did a whole bunch of miscellaneous changes and stuff. I'm not going to go over these because there's just so many miscellaneous changes that they did to zombies. And so if you guys want to check out all these ones, it's just crazy. It's a lot of like issues and stuff that happened where like things like this one, they resolved an issue where in the after action report tabs could overlay each other, stuff like that, like little bugs that, you know, aren't game breaking. They're not crashes, they're just little issues that, you know, were kind of a little annoying, or that Treyarch wasn't particularly happy with. So now on to Blackout. The looting interface has been changed on consoles, so it's now a grid layout with multiple pages for all stash types, so it's similar to the PC looting now. And identical items will now stack inside of a stash instead of being displayed individually, and remaining armor is now displayed on armor items in a stash. And they did one change to the gameplay of Blackout, and that is that they reduced concussion grenade stack count down to 1. So previously it was at 2, so you could have 2 concussion grenades in a stack, and they buffed it. So originally when Blackout first came out, it was, you know, you could only have 1 concussion grenade in a stack, and then they updated it so they stacked to 2, and now they're bringing it back to 1. So this should hopefully mean that there will be less concussions, because if you want to have, say, 4 concussions in your inventory now, it's going to take up 4 spots, whereas previously it would only take up 2. So it should mean that there's going to be a little bit less concussions that people are going to be hauling around and using, since they're either going to have to, you know, like load up on concussions in their inventory, and it's going to take up more space, whereas, you know, it takes away space from, say, perks or from heals or other stuff, and so there has to be a trade-off there. So that's really awesome and really great. I'm happy about all these changes. Like I said, we're going to be getting the PC update in a couple of days, sometime later this week, so we're going to be going over the changes then about that version. But there you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys right back here in another video.